I seriously don't know what was worse. Darren Till versus Anthony Taylor in a boxing match put on by Misfits, or the cringy bow Darren Till took after winning.
Taylor in round number 6, the pretty boy.
I mean, he's taken a bow like he's just performed the end act of Les Miserables. Sorry, my French is as good as Del Boys from Only Fools and Horses. And the meaning of Les Miserables is the miserable one, and that's exactly what I turned into, and probably thousands more after watching that fight. The fight sort of had a feel to it of when you were back at school and the victim finally stands up to the bully and you're like, oh my god, he's actually going to stand up and fight him this time. This should be good. And like, you know, even though Darren Till was the better fighter, Anthony Taylor had a few good punches, landed a few good punches. But this ain't no Hollywood story. It's not like the good guy's always going to beat the bad guy. You know, they do say to beat a bully, you got to fight a bully. Doesn't mean you're going to win that fight. That's not the point of fighting the bully. The point of fighting the bully is to make it hard for him every day just to pick on you, to the point where the bully thinks, do you know what, I can't be asked to deal with this geezer anymore. He's fighting me back. And in the fight, you know, Anthony Taylor landed a few good punches, but it wasn't nothing to write home about. But, you know, it sort of got people off their seats slightly. Oh, go on, Anthony Taylor, go on the victim. Because obviously you want to see the victim win. But Darren Till showed his sort of more experience in fighting professional fighters from the UFC. You know, knocked him down a few times. I don't think Darren Till got out of second gear. That's why he got caught a few times. But Anthony Taylor held himself in good esteem, landed a few good punches, and the fight went the way everyone thought the fight was going to go, with Anthony Taylor getting finished by a TKO. And to be perfectly fair, the bow Darren Till took at the end of the fight he put more energy and charisma into that than he did into the actual fight. I mean, did it really warrant a bow from Darren Till after the end of that fight? You know, it was hardly Rumble in the Jungle. It was hardly Fury versus Wilder. I mean, it wasn't even Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua. Now, if anyone deserves to take a bow after that fight, was Andy Ruiz, after the way he stopped Anthony Joshua. I mean, the name says it all. Like, it's put on by a Misfits, and this fight was a misfit. So to take a bow because you've beaten someone you should beat, it doesn't sit nicely with me, I'm going to be honest with you. But, you know, to get in, I'm not going to sit and discredit anyone that wants to get in the ring and punch the lights out of each other, because that's a health risk in itself. I'm not trying to take that away from you. But to do a bow in an event put on by someone called Misfits, I mean, it's the name says it on the tin, don't it, to be fair? Misfits. But that wasn't even the worst part of the night. I'll tell you what the worst part of the night was. Now, I do get why it's called Misfits, but this is taking the mick. Like, this should not be allowed. When KSI gets in the ring and announces his next big fight, and get ready, it's not Darren Till, it's not Tommy Fury, it's not Jake Paul, it's ex-Chelsea player Wayne Bridge. Yes, you heard right. KSI's next fight is against Wayne Bridge. I mean, let's be perfectly frank here. In recent times, KSI's career's gone down the shitter a bit, hasn't it? I mean, the whole Lunchable and Lunchly thing with Logan Paul and Mr. Beast, that didn't go down too well. Didn't get the reaction they thought they would get on that. And then, you know, to make things worse, he brought out that rap record, if you can call it that everyone had a field day with him taking the piss out of. And then, forget Lunchables, what was laughable was KSI's meltdown to the people's reactions to his rap song. And then now so how does a fight with Wayne Bridge get brought about? I really truly don't understand. The last time I heard of Wayne Bridge was when John Terry was making love to his wife, having an affair with his wife. That's the last I heard of Wayne Bridge. And then, surely this will be putting the final nail in KSI's coffin. Not even the Black Mamba herself could 1-inch punch her way out of this coffin.
So right now, I got no one to fight. So who do you want me to fight? Huh? How we feeling? Huh? Bellew? Do you want this smoke? Nah, bro, I don't want that guy. Come on. Bro, you down? Big Zoo, you want to go? You really want this?
You wanted it, mate. You can get it.
All right, then let's do it.
It's on it.
This YouTuber crossover Misfits fighting game. Listen, they found a niche. They made a lot of money, but the cash cow is dry. They are on their final suckles on them teats. When the camera pans over to Tony Bellew, I'm thinking, all right then, yeah, go on, Tony, put this niche to bed now, like, you know what I mean, like, because there's no way KSI beats Tony Bellew in a fight, no way in a million years. And then, you know, even Luke Littler, when it pans over to Luke Littler and I see Luke Littler, I'm thinking, all right, yeah, he's quite a lump. He's quite a viral guy. Everyone loves Luke Littler. British public love Luke Littler, so that could be a good fight. And then it kept panning, and it kept panning to shitter and shitter until it got to the shittest of shit fights you could possibly make. KSI v Wayne Bridge. KSI is starting to remind me of Emperor Commodus. You know, this is my world, these are my rules, and I'll pick and choose the fights I know I can win. Yeah, in the film, it's not a true story. You know, Emperor Commodus was a true emperor. In the Colosseum, he used to set up these fights only he could win against opponents he knew he could beat, with stipulations that suited him. Film Gladiator, Emperor Commodus, he has to stab Maximus in the heart. Primetime Maximus, because he knew he couldn't beat Primetime Maximus, so he has to stab him in the heart before the fight. We can safely say he doesn't need to do that with Wayne Bridge, but given the chance, he probably bloody would. Did you see the way he behaved when he lost to Tommy Fury? Wah. So, you know, he doesn't like losing, so if he feels like there's a 0.5% chance of him losing, probably poke one into, good old Wayne Bridge, you know what I mean? Old man Bridge. I mean, talk about crossover. Now they're crossovering into retirement homes. KSI's record, thick of it, will probably sell more units than tickets for this fight with Wayne bloody Bridge. Hit up the like button like KSI hits up the retirement homes looking for fights, and subscribe to Sports Almanac.